But don't we like accuracy? And until then, I had a great relationship with him. He's a very smart guy, very strong leader. Can you imagine him dealing with Biden? It's just the whole thing is so crazy. He probably thinks it's a setup. You know, when he meets with Biden, Biden leaves. Well, where? Bye. And he leaves. You know, when I do that, it's very dangerous for me because they're so dishonest. Like sometimes I'll walk back, I'll imitate Biden, and I'll walk like into that wall of sorts. And they'll show me on television, they'll say, see, Trump couldn't find the exit to the stage. And I do an imitation of it. I say, thank you. Thank you very much. And you ever notice the way he points? He goes, but that usually means he wants to go that way. And then I'll turn around. And then Secret Service, by the way, Secret Service, they're unbelievable. The shit they have to put up with. But Secret Services, and then you'll see this handsome, beautiful Secret Service guy coming. You say, why the hell isn't he president? That's it, right? You see this handsome, and they always grab him, right? They catch him and they, walk him off the stage. This is our president. We got a beauty. But I gave the farmers billions. All you need is one stair. But for Biden, you need many. But when I imitate him with the stairs, because he never can find his way. If you ever see Secret Service runs up and grabs him and, helps him off the stage. This is what we have negotiating nuclear weapons. So he finishes his speech. And do you ever notice? He finishes it. The speeches last about, would you say average 2-3 minutes, right? Very quick. They're very quick and not good. Not good. But the press gives him good marks. I remember when he made such a bad State of the Union speech, everything was stumbling, mumbling. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. And I said, I'm going to watch CNN, MSDNC to find out what they say, because that was one of the worst speeches. They said, not since FDR has there been a speech so magnificently delivered. I'm telling you, I've never, ever forgotten it. Not since FDR. I said, it's impossible. They're fake. They're terrible. But you know what? When he goes, and he always points, he goes like this. Thank you. Where am I? Thank you. And then he goes. And he points. You ever notice? And it's always he ends up going in the opposite direction ultimately. But he goes. And then. Sometimes he trips over the machine. And then we don't have it here. But if there's a wall behind him, he ends up walking into the wall. And then one of these incredible guys from Secret Service, all these beautiful guys, they run up stage. Look at these guys like central casting, right? They'll run up stage, they'll grab them, and they're not meant to smile. They're very hard line. When I tell stories, they're like this. I guess they're trained that way. They never smile. You say, good morning. Well, sure. They actually turn away. It's good. This way you don't have to say good morning all the time, okay? They train them this way. But one of these guys will run up and grab him and take him off the stage. This is what we have as our president. But the worst thing is when I do that, the fake news. I call up my wife, our great first lady. She was a great first. People love her. Yeah, people love her. Oh, look at that. Wow. Mercedes, that's pretty good. Yeah, she's good. And she loves our country and she loves the people. It's true. When I give these big rallies, we give rallies, they say, we love our first lady. They have signs, we love her. They always show a high heel, But we love our first lady. But I call up our first lady, I say, so baby, how good was that? She goes, you were okay. She's a very tough critic. I'll go into a group, I'll speak in front of 55, 56, 68,000 people sometimes. I'll call her up, I'll say, how good was I tonight? Was that unbelievable? She goes, well, your hair didn't look good. Oh, that's not good. But it's very hard to get once in a while she goes, you were really good tonight, but that's like a major. But I said, in this case, I said, how good was that tonight? She said, you were really good tonight, but what happened? You couldn't find your way off the stage. Because the fake news said Donald Trump couldn't find his way off the stage. I said, wow. Or when I interject a name, like I go, our president, Barack Hussein Obama. Rush Limbaugh, remember? He would always, right, Seb? Rush would go, Barack Hussein. You couldn't hear Barack or Obama, but the name Hussein, he'd be screaming. I don't know exactly what he meant by that. I think I do. But he'd go, Barack Hussein. So I'd go, Barack Hussein Obama, our president, has done this. Now, I meant that because there are those people that say he's running our country, because Joe is not strong on aptitude. So there are those. We don't know that that's true. But they go out and they say, Donald Trump, headline. Donald Trump doesn't know who the president of our country. He thinks Obama's the president, Lou. Eh? Look at the great Lou Dobbs. He thinks Obama is the president. So when I'm sarcastic, because I'm sort of a sarcastic guy, I find humor in sarcasm, but it's very dangerous to do because they take it very seriously. But it's a very serious subject because of what happened. To finish the first story, what happened? Hey, by the way, isn't this better than reading off a frickin' teleprompter? Right? Right? Anybody can do that except for Biden. Together we will turn the page forever on the miserable nightmare of the Biden presidency. What a presidency, what a president, most incompetent president we've ever had. The worst president, the most incompetent, and the most corrupt. Other than that, I think he's doing actually quite a good job. And we will make America great again. Two nights ago, we all heard Crooked Joe's angry, dark, hate-filled rant of a State of the Union address. Didn't it bring us together? Remember, he said, I'm going to bring the country together. I'm going to bring it together. No. He's a threat to democracy. I will tell you, he's a threat to democracy. Weaponize government, weaponize the FBI, weaponize the DOJ. He's a threat to democracy for other reasons also. Number one, he's grossly incompetent. Joe Biden gave the most divisive, partisan, radical, and extreme speech ever delivered by a president in that chamber, not even close. Rather than trying to bring our country together, he tried to cling to power by tearing our country apart. He's done nothing. You know what their whole thing is going to be? Go after Trump. Go after. We have no policy. We didn't do anything. Everything we did turned out so badly. Go after Trump. And we're ready for it. Are we ready? We're ready. Crooked Joe Biden talked about Ukraine before he talked about America. He talked about the size of a Snickers bar. You know, it's probably true about Snickers. They throw a little bit less in. I'd probably do the same thing if I owned that particular company. But can I be honest with you? Who the hell cares about? That's not what the problem is. That's not what the problem is. That's not what you don't talk about Snickers. You talk about inflation, big league inflation, not that kind of stuff. You talk about the fact that we're no longer energy independent. We're going to be energy dominant. You talk about bigger things. We talk about the whole country as opposed to the kind of things he talked. I think he took 41 minutes before he got to the border, and then he covered it almost not at all. The border is the biggest problem. I think it's one of the biggest problems, the greatest threat to the history of our country. So it took him 41 minutes, and then he announced a plan to send our brave U.S. military men and women into Gaza to resupply the terrorists of Hamas. You know what's going to happen. He wants to build billions and billions of dollars a pier, a nice pier, going way into what happened to the environmental impact statement. Last time I wanted to build a pier, they tie you up forever, right? There's no tying up. But here's the problem. the bad guys will take over that pier and they'll take every ounce of food and everything else, and then they'll sell it to people that have no money and that it was intended for. We have the stupidest people in the history of our country running things. These are stupid people. I'd like to use a more sophisticated word, but, you know, there are some words that just go, these are stupid people. Joe Biden should not be shouting angrily at America. America should be shouting angrily at Joe Biden. And we should be saying, Crooked Joe, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. You're incompetent. You're incompetent. Get out of here. You're destroying our nation. Get the hell out of here. You're destroying our country, Joe. He doesn't have a clue. He doesn't for the fake news. You know, it's a problem. If I have fun and I want to be a little sarcastic, because I'm a somewhat sarcastic person, I have humor. You know why I have humor? Because if I didn't, and I'm looking at what this guy has done to our country, you have to have a little humor. But sometimes I'll imitate, because you know he can never find his way off a stage. You know that, right? He makes a speech that lasts for about 2.5 minutes, and then, and then he always goes, you know, do you ever notice the weirdest thing? He goes, thank you. And he points. No, he always points. And then he starts walking, and they're waving him to the other. It's the other stair. And he goes around and doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's lost. Then he'll walk off the back of the stage where there's no stair and fall down. No, I mean, you know, but here's the problem. Whenever I imitate that, they put me on saying I couldn't get off the stage. So I have to be very careful. When I substitute Barack Hussein Obama, has anybody ever heard of Barack Hussein Obama? And I use his name instead of, and I say, our president, Barack Hussein Obama, meaning who's calling the shots. Does everyone sort of understand it? The fake news says, he doesn't know the name of our president. He doesn't know it's Joe Biden. He must be cognitively impaired. I'm not cognitively. And you know what? When I am, you're going to know it. You're going to be the first people. I know my people. You'll say, all right, Trump, you did a good job. Get the hell out of here. That's it. That's it. No, these are very dishonest people. No, I called my wife. I said, baby, how was that? Just tell me. How good was I tonight? She watches it like she loves it, right? She said, you were good, but it's a little embarrassing. Why? They showed you couldn't find the stairs on the stage. I said, they did that to me. They did that. Because it's almost impossible. These things, in this case, we only have 4 stairs. It's a small platform. Look, I have one there, believe it or not, and one here, one there. He had 3, and he can't find them, and they're right alongside of each other. And they all work, you know? I don't know, government must have built it, because you got one platform and you have stairs all over the place. Built by government. Crazy. So I have to be very careful. I can't be sarcastic. Can't be fun. You can't mix names. Purposely mix names.
And how Crooked Joe wants to massively raise your income taxes, promising that the Trump tax cuts are likely the biggest tax cut in the history of the country, bigger than the Reagan tax cuts years before. But they want to cut the Trump. He wants to get rid of the Trump tax cuts. Now they expire. So instead of just renewing them, he says, go on to expire and I'm reelected. He's in the process. Don't forget, he can't put 2 sentences together. He can't find the stairs off the stage. Let's see, this stage is not funny. I got stairs there, I got stairs there. I got this ramp there, I got stairs there. And I got really dangerous, I can jump off the front. It's nice there. You understand when he's finished? He finishes the speech, which usually lasts about a minute and a half. And he always goes like this. And then he has to know where to go. But you know, we have great people, Secret Service. They always run up on the stage and they lead them off. They're great. And he wants to let our tax codes expire. And called my wife for my first lady, and I said, First Lady, we had a big speech. By the way, not as many people as this is like big record stuff on television, even in the haters. They said this may be the biggest one I've ever seen. And I told my first lady, I said, so, people, like Superman, we have Uncle Sam, I said, First Lady, how do you say? I was talking, I've been in this speech one big crowd. I said, but it's all over television, that person, so it's all over television. So I said, First Lady, how great a speech was that? Who else is quoting that? Nobody could go past that. How great was that? She said, you're okay. I said, well, what's wrong? Well, you couldn't find your way off the stage. So I was imitating him, and they said, I couldn't find my way off. That's what happened. So you have to be very careful. I'm doing the imitation, walking around, and the deputy said, Trump could not find his way off. So I do that anymore. I just do a modified version. I do a very modified version. That happens a lot with the fake news. That's why I go with fake news. But that means that under Biden, the average New Jersey worker will see a tax increase just on this part. I've already got 32 tax increases, but then another one. Adding to what I just said with the inflation taxes, it's a real tax.
But it's true. I never talk this way because, I used to treat Biden with a little respect. Not a lot, but a little. More than he deserves. And talk about he didn't do a good job. But now I say he's the worst president. He's incompetent. He's not a smart person. He has no idea. He can't find the stairs to a stage. See all the stairs we have? We've got more stairs here. They're all over the place. How the hell do you not find them? You can walk in any direction, and yet you ever watch him? He goes like this. And then and so far he's doing good because there's a stair over there, but then he walks into a wall and stuff. Thank God for the Secret Service. They usually run off, take them. This is what we're running against. How the hell do they get 50% of the vote? They start
all over again. We're going to do it even better. I just went through a rigged trial in New York with a highly conflicted, and I mean highly conflicted judge, where there was no crime. It was made up, fabricated stuff. They didn't want to bring the case. They could have brought the case 7 years ago. It's only when you run for office they bring cases. But they would have done that 7 years ago, not in the middle of my presidential campaign, where we're beating Biden, by the way, by a lot. Did you see? And by the way, right after the announcement of this, more campaign funds were given to this campaign than any campaign they think in history. Nobody's ever seen, because they know it was rigged. They know it's a corrupt system. They know all about it. But with your help, less than 5 months from now, and we're going, and I'll tell you what, we have to change the system. We have to straighten out what's going on in the schools. We've got a rigged deal going this whole country, and we've got to do it. And those appellate courts have to step up and straighten things out, or we're not going to have a country any longer. But we're going to win the great state of Arizona, and we're going to... You're fired. You're doing a lousy job, the worst president in history. Joe, you're fired. How did he do today? Does anybody have a report? He shook his In a few moments, I will be taking questions. You're going to be taking questions. So, I don't know. I'm not like Joe. Tell me who's going to have. You ever see that? He's got a press conference that lasts for about 2 minutes. And he goes like this. He's reading a card. NBC.
And then they ask him a question, and he picks up the same paper and he reads the answer. They never did that with me. No, we're going to have people asking questions. Whatever they ask is okay. Is anybody going to be watching the debate with this character? You know, they offered me this debate, and they thought I wouldn't take it because it's on CNN. It's fake Tapper. Does anyone know fake Tapper? They wanted it to be sitting down, seated, and zero audience. And they wanted it to be short, also very short. And I said, I'll take it. Because you know what? They thought I wouldn't take it. Being on CNN, and Dana Bash is very tough to Trump. Dana Bash, another beauty. So I have Dana Bash and fake Tapper. And they thought, here's what we'll do. We'll offer him the worst thing that could be offered. These two anchors, Dana Bash, fake Tapper, CNN, no audience, nobody. Your children, your wife, nobody can be there. Oh, that's going to be interesting for him, though.